An exceptional artist and architect, and a very beautiful personality inside out. I'm in conversation with Mrs. Sharvari Luth, ma'am, Vice Chairperson, Fravashi Group of Schools. It's an honor to be sharing this space with you today, ma'am.
Likewise, Shivani.
And welcome to Fravashi Unplugged.
Thank you so much.
So, before asking the first question to you, I would like to share something. When I had joined Fravashi International Academy, I was very new to the whole educational institution because I had never worked in one. And of course, Meghna ma'am was there to, handhold me through the whole process to support me. But I had met Ratan sir once, and I remember him telling me that when you step into the school, you have to feel as if this is your school, as if you're the leader. And he had asked me, of course, that what do you think about the school? So that was also one of the things that I felt was I'm just maybe a month old in the system, and sir being at that level asking me this question in itself was a great deal for me. So I want to ask you, uh, how is sir as a chairman, as a leader for you?
Shivani, let me put a different perspective onto it. By now, you have heard about all our four schools, starting from Fravashi Academy, Fravashi International Academy, Fravashi Town Academy. For the little toddlers, we have got a separate campus, so that is pink and blue. And you have even, you know everything about Fravashi Group of Schools. So whether it is our 9,000 plus strength of students, or in the meanwhile, you have even now spoken to starting from Meghna, then we have Manju Madam, Aarti Madam, Shalini Madam, Prajakta, Ruhita, Mona Lisa. And have you noticed something common in all of them? Is that every single person you have spoken to is a trailblazer, right? A leader in their own right. Now, all of us over here have been on a brief journey, and then we have come over here to where we are right now. So when I talk about Ratan as a chairman, there is one thing which comes to my mind. So there is a beautiful quote of Steve Jobs. Everyone knows him, right? I mean, co-founder of Apple. And in one of his speeches, he has said that innovation is what distinguishes between a leader and a follower. And I think that is exactly what Ratan applies to his work at home. You know, everywhere he is, he believes in one thing is create leaders. So if he's a leader, his true leadership quality is that he has made all of us into a kind of a mini leader. Even in your case, now what you are talking about is he sees to it everyone gets a voice. So if you notice in any Fravashi group of schools, anywhere you go, or you meet any Fravashi family member, you will notice that that person has a voice, can be heard, which I think is one of the most important thing and one of the most important leadership skill. Second thing, what he believes in is don't manage people, inspire them. Don't tell people what they are supposed to do. That will come eventually because the sense of responsibility comes. The sense of commitment is there. But what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to inspire people. So I think his biggest quality and the best quality is he wants all the people who are around him to be leaders. One of the boys who's been at home with us since the last 30 years, 30, mind it. He came as a kid, 18-year-old from Nepal, and now he is a kind of a general manager. I actually tease him that you are the GM of the home because nothing ever moves without his knowledge, and he's my Ram. So that kind of quality Ratan has got. And I would say that because that is the inherent quality about him, That is trickled not only into the work related thing, but it is even at home. He wants everyone, then whether it is our son Jehan, my daughter in law, even the little grandson whom I have now, he is like, he's a leader. He will become a leader, you see. And I'm like, yes, knowing you and knowing he being your grandson, I said, I'm sure he will be. But he's like that with everyone. If he goes even to Pink and Blue and he's half an hour over there, he will see to it that every child, any child coming running to him, whether it is a small thing, big thing, he is heard. We have temples in the school. Fravashi International Academy has got two temples. One is Hanumanji, and the recent one is the Ganeshji. Now, Hanumanji is a symbol of Paul, so he's the god of Paul. Ganeshji is the lord of wisdom. We have Sri Ram, Lord Ram at FTA. Thing is that it is a place of worship, and none of our temples are closed in with doors. Okay, they only have a roof and they are open for any person to walk in any time. Now the thing is, Ganesha temple was just done a few months ago, so that day was the sthapana, and in the evening all of us were over there. The program was over, the Maharajis, Gurujis, they had gone home, and it was we all, the key family. So, the discussion was going on about how the idol can be illuminated at night, because Ratan didn't want it to be dark. And after certain lights being off, it was becoming dark. So everyone was coming up. So I said something, Meghna said something, Mona, Prajakta, Ruita, everyone came up with some other idea. Out steps one of our electricians from the team. The entire electrical team was there. And he said, Sir, me karu ka? So he said, go ahead. I'm giving you 24 hours. Tomorrow you show it to me. This may be a very small thing, but what I'm trying to accentuate over here is how much everyone has got a voice. So this gentleman, the next 24 hours, he does it. He calls Ratan the next day and he shows how that idol is illuminated exactly that much without adding a single column in front of it. So, like Ratan always says, that if you give them the responsibility, they will rise up to it. But first they say, so what, out of 10 times, 9 times they'll be saying, one time they may not be. My parents are the people who gave me birth. They inculcated values in me. The person who has held me by the finger and led me till here, I said, is my husband, Ratan. So he is a true leader in every sense. And that percolates everywhere. So it's not that only he is leading everyone. So even the teacher who's there in our schools, even she knows she's a leader. She knows that what she's responsible for, whatever thing she's committed for. She knows that her ideas will be welcome, provided every single thing is for the betterment of the child and for the betterment of the Fravashi family team. That's the only thing. If it's going to develop, if it's going to make it better, then Ratan is always welcome for all these things.
So now coming to the Fravashi culture, the Fravashi culture is, I think everybody knows how the Fravashi culture is, and it is, of course, the talk of the town. And people all over the world, I think, when even we as ex-students go to some other place, other city, other country, we take our Fravashi culture with us. So, the ideology that the Fravashi group of schools follows and at home, is there anything common, a common factor?
Well, yes, definitely. Because Shivani, that's a very nice question, because I'll tell you something. There is one saying which the first time it was documented, it was in 1648, and which almost all of us practice, not only as a part of Fravashi group of schools, even at home, or even for that matter, you may have seen that you yourself must be practicing it outside. A very simple thing: practice before you preach. So, whatever you speak, Whatever you are vocal about, first, you should always do it yourself. Maybe excel in it, and then you can talk about it. I'll go a little bit in flashback. This was one thing which Ratan I have always believed in. And of course, when I got married to him, when I got him in my life, I started following the same footsteps. Practice before you preach. We tried to follow it with Jehan, our son. He was a good student, but more than that, he was matured, a balanced child, equal into sports and academics, a lot of co curricular activities. At the age of 17, he went on to US, United States of America, and he went as an undergrad to do his bachelor's program at CI, the Culinary Institute of America. On the way out, when he took the bachelor's degree, he had 2 gold medals with him. He then went on to do his master's in public health at UPenn. He then went on to do master's in law at UPenn. He then went on to do his
Wow.
executive program of in artificial intelligence at MIT. And of course, now he's got his own company of fintech infrastructure. In the entire process, he did 2 half Ironmans. He did 1 Ironman. He did not let go his love for sports. He plays excellent golf. In fact, he plays at scratch. His handicap is. And of course, now he's settled so well. The biggest joy as parents for Ratan and I were when we saw him just a couple of months ago as being invited as the guest speaker for the graduation ceremony of CI. And of course, as you know, he was the chief guest at Fravashi Academy for one of their sports day. In fact, you have even interviewed my daughter-in-law
Yes.
as a young mother. And in this entire process, we believed and we practiced certain things. How much the foundation years of a child are important, and how much importance should parents give it during that time. There are a lot of sacrifices involved, but it's definitely worth it. And I think this all follows onto this all we have tried to trickle it down. Of course, now I'm not just a parent, I'm a grandmother also. So actually, if you see if it is applying to me right now, no. But yes, it does, because we think that we are the parents of so many of our children. Between the 3 schools, the 4 with the toddlers, we have 9,000 plus children. We have got an alumni of 20,000 plus children. We have children right now, if you ask me, you can name the profession, you can name the field, you can name the country, and I'll be able to point out one of our Fravashi children over there. And I think this all, proudly I can say it, because not only we, as in Ratan and I, our entire family, may it be of the schools, the Fravashi family, of the children, or may it be the people who are associated to the Fravashi group of schools. But there is one thing which I always say is, once we are putting out something out over there, that is something which we have done, which we have gone through, which we have understood. Hence this practice before you preach. And all our schools applied at their individual levels also, throughout the schools. As a structure, when we are all together also, it has always been practiced before you preach, which unfortunately, I really feel sad when I see it, that quite a few educational institutions, I'm not saying about Nasik per se, I'm saying about a lot outside, they have become more a medium of income than being the place, the holy temple or the place from where you inculcate values. Because when I look back at my own child, I can say confirmedly, it is not just the teaching which takes place in the school. In the school, there are a variety of things which take place in a good school. So, all that when it gets across to the child, and that is how when you see our child shining out over there, somewhere in another world. I mean, when you see people being famous as sports people, or as one of the, we have got even students who have done exceedingly well in academics, and then they have got a second career also. So how does it happen? It doesn't happen without the entire support of parents. So when parents have to support, they need that belief that these people, when they speak something, when they commit to something, they hold themselves accountable. And that belief is there from the parents, from the society in general, in Fravashi. And that is the reason the child or the children are shining.
Smallest values are built, are embedded in the kids from the start itself. So
Definitely.
even a smallest thing like cleanliness, which is not actually small, which is a very big thing, but when you get into the campus and children are there, and if somebody sees a wrapper which has fallen down, I have seen children pick up the wrapper, even if it was not theirs, they would pick it up and they would throw it in the dustbin. So I think these are the small qualities, the values that are getting built, that are getting developed in the children. So
Definitely.
I think that is also one of the things that is
Definitely, Shivani, because school is like the second home. The first teachers are the parents, and the second teachers are the teachers which you come across in school, especially the age group which we are handling. The most important thing is a child leaves the home, leaves the comfort of the home, and comes to school. Now, when he comes to the school, that is the only second home which he knows. So, it is our responsibility to inculcate those values in a child, like you said, cleanliness. And many a times we feel that so many things you don't have to teach to a child. There are so many things which a child watches, hears, reads, and then starts doing it. So there are so many things that in our school, when the child steps in our school, and we have always claimed, so again they come back to practice before you preach, that every single child who enters the gates of Fravashi is our child.
So, ma'am, I have observed, and also I have been a part of most of the campaigns. Fravashi is doing a lot of radio jingles, a lot of social media presences there, a lot of advertising. Uh, do you want to say something about that?
Let me go speak about this a little bit differently. You know Amul, right? Who doesn't know Amul? I think all of us, every single Indian has got Amul in some or the other format,
Yes.
right? Amul is the world's largest farmer-owned dairy cooperative, world's largest. Amul's ads, you must have noticed them. In fact, I think we look forward to their ads, to their
Yes.
hoardings. And whenever we read it, we are rather proud. Proud because we are associated with that product. Now, frankly speaking, do they need the sales? No.
Not at all.
Do they need to do the marketing? Not at all. Then why do they do it? And why are they so particular about it? It's because they want their presence to be felt. And it's not just for them. They understand the psyche behind all this also. Just imagine, Shivani, today we are having 9,000 plus children, a team which is more than 1,500 now family members. We have an alumni of more than 20,000. Now, all the numbers are humongous if you see. We have got so many vendors, agencies, so many people. We are supporting more than 250 odd professions through our schools. Every single person who sees that has a sense of belonging. Oh, this is me. Oh, I supply so and so over here. Children, I myself have seen it in the car when the radio jingle starts. They dance on their seat and they're telling their mom, Mama, Mama, ye meri school, ye meri school. And the mom is like, the mom knows everything, right? So she's like, ha beta, ha beta. Try to understand. There's that sense of belonging. This is what I am. This is what our jingles, our advertisements. That sense of belonging is so strong, Shivani. I'll tell you something. A thing, in fact, you may have noticed it. You may be even knowing the story behind it. So one of the teachers is asking one of the child, a sweet girl, 7, 8 year old girl, and she says, "Tell me which is the best school in Nasik." There was no hesitation also. So the child says that no discussion, only Fravashi. Now that quick comeback, we liked such a lot, and Ratan loved it. So immediately, in a couple of days' time, we put up a hoarding with the same tagline, and not just that, even the same little girl also. So that sense of belonging is there, and that sense of belonging is so important in today's world. Also, I feel this, what we are trying to cultivate, the sense of belonging, also has to be cultivated at home. There are a couple of instances which I always feel are, like when children are sitting and you all as a family have a meal in the evening, and there, how you put across the school is so important. Speaking good things about your school, because like I always maintain, school is the second home. So we have to see to it as parents that how the child is more and more in love with it, how that sense of belonging is cultivated even at home. One thing which happens with all this advertisements and the jingles and everything, okay, there are a lot of them who love to copy. Okay. Now, like we say, practice before before you preach. So I always maintain that we are the originals. So copies, there are going to be copies everywhere, all over the world. My my one point which I always try to put across is, if you're going to copy, might as well go all the way. Don't copy it halfway. We started adopting schools, Fravashi group of schools. We have adopted more than 3 schools since the last 20 years. Wow. We have got separately adopted by the chairman's fund, which is there. So he himself has adopted more than 80 students. So if you're going to follow, then follow all the way. There are so many things. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other things which we do through the school, through our children as community work, not expecting anything in return. There is nothing you will even find out that it's been this thing unless and until you go over there or you get to know from someone else. Aren't you aware? Fravashi is doing that. You per se must be knowing, but otherwise. Yes. And if you are planning to copy or planning to impersonate, then it might as well be everything, because that's going to benefit the society. So if Fravashi is there, what I'm glad about is Fravashi has always been on the forefront. Yes. So that is my biggest happiness. And my objective is, let more and more people come ahead, and let more and more, especially the underprivileged, let them get benefited more by all these schemes. So if you want to copy, don't just copy our jingles, don't just copy our advertisements, copy everything. Because if you have noticed, not a single advertisement of ours, not a single jingle of ours, nowhere has it been ever mentioned that open for admissions. Yes, yes. Because I'm aware of that. We are blessed. Our only strategy is that every child, every person, whoever is associated with us, should be able to see us and say with pride and joy, this is where I belong to. So many schools, so many options, so many boards. How does one choose a school? Okay. Again, I like this question. Okay. Let me phrase it a little bit differently. I can relate to my own experiences very well. So I'm continuously telling you a story. I was extremely scared of swimming, of water in general. Now, because I was scared of water and I didn't know ever how to swim, I was very keen that my child, I'm talking about when I was newly married, my child, irrespective of a girl or boy, should know how to swim. And not just how to swim, should know how to swim well. So that's the reason Jehan, at the age of 2, I put him for swimming. Ratan has always supported me. And from there, of course, then he did even sea swimming, Ironman, everything. But we have parents who are unable to talk in fluent English. They can speak in their Marathi or whatever their mother tongue is. Being in Maharashtra, Marathi is normally a lot. But they are fluent in their language. And of course, in a school, we are not interested whether the parent is fluent in English or not. The will that my child should be fluent in English, that is what more important for us as a school. That you want to go that extra mile to see to it that your child fares better is what we are interested in. I think every single good school will give you a vision. The child. The child will start thinking in 360 degrees. Any good school. You know, my problem, I would say is, Shivani, how do I make the young parents understand how important a good school is? I'm saying per se good school. You may be staying in any city, you may be staying in any state. The thing is, I'll tell you a simple thing. Okay, I think we'll be able to relate as woman to woman. We go to a sari shop. Okay. Normally, if you have to take even one sari, you come out buying two.
Of course.
Okay. And for a woman, like when I notice my husband or any brother-in-laws or anyone like that from the family who goes in for buying a sari, they pick up a sari in 10 minutes and they're out, and more the double the number of what we pick up. But you know, as a lady, we tend to go to a shop, we tend to spend half an hour to pick up one sari. Just imagine an attire or a garment or a fabric which is going to be on your body maybe just for a day, right? Maybe once in 6 months, once in a year. How much time and effort and energy you apply, right? Now, come back to school and you just take a tour and that's over. Or you have the faith on your neighbor that the neighbor's child is going over there, so my child will go. Or you are maybe a member of a kitty or member of a spa or member of a gym and or member of a club. And there you overhear, or someone's child is going to so and so school, so you pick up your child and put the child in the school, not knowing in depth about anything about the school. How many times as a parent, they'll go in the school, they'll check everything on the net because Google is there everywhere. They'll check everything on the net. They may have done even their basic survey. They go for a tour of the school. How many times you see the library? Oh, it's good. It's packed with books. Have you gone and checked the range of books? You see the IT lab or the computer science lab, whatever in any school it is written. How many times you go and check or ask about the software which is inside those computers? Do you go and visit the washrooms? Have you ever asked what are the qualifications of the teachers? And I'm extremely proud to say it. All these things, whatever I've mentioned, you can check it in all our schools. Practice before you preach, right? So, when you're going to put your child for 15 years in any school, half of the day in that school, you can imagine how much thorough your research should be and what kind of questions which you should be asking. And this is where I feel it really bad. I'll tell you one more thing, Shiva. Yours is a love marriage, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you must not be knowing anything about this. But arranged marriage जब होता है, तब
Okay, I know where you're going.
किसी घर में जब आप आपकी बच्ची देते हैं, तो अगर वो घर में आपको पता चला कि यहाँ पे उसके फादर इन लॉ वो चेन स्मोकर है, या तो फिर आपको पता चला कि इनके पूरे फैमिली में, इनकी फैमिली, एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली में डिवोर्स केसेस बहुत हैं, आप दोगे आपके बच्चे को? नहीं दोगे. क्यों? क्योंकि there are some things, because that family doesn't have the set of values, right? Now think of a school where you're going to put your child. Again, like I said, minimum 15 years. Won't you be very particular about where your child is going to be, especially all the formative years? A place where everything is going to be developed. Cognitive skills, physical development, intellect, psychologically the child will be developing, emotionally the child will be developing. So you can just imagine the importance of a good school. Like I always say, that every parent gives a set of values from home, and every school gives the vision to look forward and to look beyond.
That security and safety, I think, is one of the, in today's world especially, is also one of the very important points people should look when they go to a school. Because at Fravashi group of schools, in any of the campuses you go, you feel secure. And you feel that, oh, your child is going to be happy and secure and safe in this space.
I totally agree, Shivani, because it's for the child, it's for our team members, because our Fravashi family is hardly 10% men and 90% women. I always tease Ratan that, you understand the psychology of women, of moms so very well. No, but jokes apart, that's a fact that he does stress a lot on the security, on the way a person is made to feel. There are lots of small things which even the training of the security from the support stars, that is the security which is like totally different. So how they are trained, even for that matter, even the maushis, the babas, how the training takes place, that is even something to be seen. Extremely effective training, extremely passionate training, because we have to understand, like I again come back to this thing, you have to inspire them to work.
Yes.
You are not supposed to manage them, because if you tell them ये ऐसा ही करना है, ऐसा ही होना है, असं व्हायला नको, they will follow, but their heart won't be in it. So this is what, I think giving a complete experience is something which is more important.
Yes, definitely. Ma'am, I have seen you conducting a lot of workshops for the young parents. So I want to know, any message for the new generation parents?
Okay, Shivani, there is a very favorite Sanskrit shlok of mine. And I think that has been, my astra for almost every single day. The shlok is, Chitte prasanna bhuvanam, bhuvanam prasanna chitte. म्हणजे याचा अर्थ असा आहे की तुमचं मन जर प्रसन्न असेल, तुम्ही जर प्रसन्न असाल, तर घर प्रसन्न असतं. आणि जर घरामध्ये सुख शांती असेल तर तुम्ही प्रसन्न असता. अँड आय टोटली ॲग्री, बिकॉज इट गोज हँड इन हँड. One very important thing, which I always feel like telling the young parents, or even not young parents, anyone who's a parent. But why young more? Because, like I said, these are the foundation years. That under any circumstances, whatever comes across your way, see to it that you maintain happiness at home. I understand it's a very difficult thing because every single person, all of us, have always got a personal battle going on.
Yes.
But we have to overcome it. And being a parent is always on the sacrificing mode. I've noticed that, in fact, when even Jehan was small, this was an unwritten rule amongst me and Ratan and even the other family members. No arguments, no disagreements in front of the child. We can do that later, we can do it, behind closed doors, whatever. The child has to be happy at home because, and that it's a chain. If the parents are happy, the child is happy.
Yes.
The child is happy, the parents are happy. But the child is at such an age that there is not much what he can do or she can do. As adults, we understand, we have got that wiseness of how to handle things. Shivani, there should be a very conscious effort by the parents to see to it that there is a happy ambience at home. Because happy ambience at home makes children happy, and that has got an impact. Not only are they good in academics, but also their cognitive skills are better. They are better in developing good relations. Actually, what happens with a child is, if a child is happy, as adults, we understand how to make ourselves happy. As child, they don't understand how to make themselves happy. They are not at that age, that stage of life. So it depends on the parents how to make it. I mean, it's a kind of a project, and believe me, it is not easy. But that is what parenting is all about, right? Sacrifices. Not only child gets all the comfort and safety, there's that safety zone which they get at home. So if at home they are happy, it reflects on everything. Not only do they have good habits, like something like sleeping early, inculcating good eating habits. Now that is also so important, but that you are able to do if the child is happy. Even simple things like, coming back after the school, doing their homework properly, or for that matter, even, the entire ambience at home is conducive for learning new things also. So the child, I give a lot of importance to a child being happy at home. And a very important thing is the parent should introduce lot of activities for the child which is other than academics. Make them be with you a lot, take them outdoors. In fact, I always feel that this is the place, the earth is the place where we stay on. Let them be sensitive to all what is happening around them. Take them outdoors, show them the flora, the fauna, may introduce them to sports, make them watch sports sitting with you, not just cricket. Because I think as Indians, most of us are aware, and most of the children, sit with their parents and watch cricket. Not only that, there's lawn tennis. We have so many Wimbledons and US Open and so many things going around us. We have even the new set of these things like kabaddi, and there are so many new games which are being introduced. Introduce them to all the new sports, make them sit with you, not only spend time with them, but how does a child derive happiness? The child derives maximum happiness in the company of the parents. And it is not something which a parent can do day in and day out because of the school, because of all the other routines, the work of the parent. So they have to make a conscious effort to see to it that they spend some time with the child, which is conducive, which is something which helps in the betterment of the child. So I think these are a few things which I feel are very important. And for this all to fall in place, the parent has to be fit, and parent has to be happy, and parent has to be calm. Now again, like I said, it's a tall order. so, so like Gautam Buddha has said, that patience is prayer, and which is very important. We have to inculcate them in ourselves. Like, not only am I a parent, I'm also a grandparent. So Ratan and I because we have inculcated that habit that we are supposed to be calm, okay, around the child, so now that has become a habit that now even with our grandchild also we are the same. So it becomes a habit to stay calm, to be patient, because that is the only thing which will take you through all the ages of a child's life. So, because when they are small and then they are toddlers and they are around you, things are different.
Yes.
When they become teenagers and they start banging the door, and when when they, get back answer, things are again different. And then comes the stage when they are supposed to go out in this big open world. So there are all these stages, and every time every child is different. So you cannot compare two children. Not only that, every child is precious to their parents. So again, we have, why do I accentuate this over and over again? That if you are happy and you are healthy, then only you can see to it that your child is happy and child is healthy. Because the atmosphere in the home is like that. Like I said, the ambience has to be like that. You go for trekking, you go for outdoor camping, you go for art shows, take your child with you, go for musicals which are for that child age group, take your child with you, introduce the child to so many other things. There is music and there are creative arts. Maybe I'm an artist, so I feel that colors is a very beautiful way to rejuvenate. But it's a fact, give a child a few things to do, let the child be themselves. There is going to be no competition there. There are going to be no exams there. It's just time spent fruitfully. And without our knowledge, the child is detoxified, de-stressed. One more thing, what I've realized through all this is when you introduce them to a plethora of activities, the child's screen time. Understand that, because you yourself are a mom, Shivani. You know how is it that if you tell them, things are changing, we have to accept that and we have to adapt to it. So in our times when we used to say that, our parents used to say, this is the way things are to be done and you have to do it. And we used to do it. Things are no longer like that. Now the child is a curious mind, and the child expresses themselves. So they'll ask you why, when, what, how, everything. And as a parent, you should be able to answer this. If you're going to tell your child, no screen time, only so much, for a particular age, they will listen to you. Then they are going to ask. And, we ourselves have made them bold to ask us all these questions, right? When you have all these activities going on, the time for a child to spend on the screen, any kind of screen, it lessens. So what happens is, without you putting it across to the child that no screen time and no this thing, it diminishes. So you will find that the child is less on any kind of screen. It may be TV, it may be there all these games which they play, or even for that matter, simple cell phone or iPad. You'll find that that diminishes. So what you are doing actually is giving a bitter pill, but sugar coated. So my way of looking at things, if you are able to do things this way, then why not? So I think for all this, again, I come to the point that have a happy home for the child to be happy. And for the child to be happy, need happy parents. And for parents to be happy, they have to consciously work on all of these things. See, when I say this, I even introspect that when it is a home, like any home, your home, my home, there is always a set of unwritten rules.
Correct.
Okay. It is not, it goes from family to family, generations to generation. And it can be a very simple thing. And then you have people saying that at my home, we do it this way. It may be the style of eating, it may be the style of worship, it may be the style of even when you enter or when you step out, anything. But every home has a set, a particular set of rules. Exactly that way, every school or educational institution has. Now, if the parents don't support it, you are sending a wrong message to the child. That love and respect which comes on, which trickles down to the child will never be there. Also, I feel it is not just for the school. If you are not going to respect your nation, Even when I see there are so many absentees for Independence Day and Republic Day, I mean, those are the only 2 days which we are actually contributing only because of our presence to the building of the nation. But this is our way of adding our 2 bits for our nation. And if we as parents don't support it, if we at this tender age, I mean, I always say these are the foundation age, this is the age group of molding. They are like clay. The way you want to shape them, they'll be shaped. तर शिवानी, I'll give you one example. My own example. मी मराठी आहे, म्हणून माझी मातृभाषा मराठी आहे आणि मला मराठी अस्खलित येतं. मातृभाषा आहे, घरामध्ये आम्ही मराठीच बोलायचो. मला शाळेत टाकलं, एक उत्तम इंग्लिश शाळेमध्ये टाकलं. That mode of language naturally was English because it was English medium school. So our grammar and our literature and our language and everything was worked on. I became fluent in English. Hindi was one of the languages offered over there, which in those days we had to take Hindi. So I took Hindi and I became pretty proficient in Hindi also. And Hindi is something which you hear everywhere, right? त्याच्यानंतर कालांतराने माझं लग्न झालं. माझा नवरा रतन पारसी आहे, म्हणून मग मला आता अस्खलित गुजराती येतं. पण सांगण्याचा उद्देश असा की तेव्हा आय एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 50-55 years ago, आई वडिलांनी हा डिसिजन घेतला की आपल्याला आपल्या मुलांची जे विजन आहे ते 360 डिग्रीज करायचं आहे, किंवा आपल्याला आपल्या मुलांना फ्युचरिस्टिक लँग्वेज यायलाच पाहिजे, म्हणून इंग्लिश मिडियम शाळेत टाकलं. कदाचित त्यांनी जर असा विचार केला असता की काय गरज आहे, आपण नाही का शिकलो मराठी मीडियममध्ये, मुलं पण शिकतील, किंवा काही फॅमिलीजमध्ये असा विचार केला जातो की हम नहीं क्या बडे हुए, बच्चे भी बडे हो जाएंगे. असा जर आई वडिलांनी विचार केला, म्हणजे माझ्या दृष्टीनं तो कोते मनोवृत्ती ही की आपण जे केलं तेच मुलांना कंटिन्यू करायचं. आपण जे केलं त्याच्यापेक्षा आपल्या मुलांनी जास्त चांगलं करायला पाहिजे, ही जेव्हा तुमची फ्युचरिस्टिक ॲटिट्यूड असते, किंवा वेन यू हॅव द विजन टू थिंक बियॉन्ड, तेव्हा मग थिंग्स फॉल इन प्लेस. म्हणून मला वाटतं त्याच्यानंतर ऑफकोर्स तुम्ही शाळा कशी सिलेक्ट करतात, कारण हा एक फार महत्त्वाचा मुद्दा असतो की इंग्लिश मिडियममध्ये टाकायचं का नाही टाकायचं. आणि हा कुठल्याही आपल्या राज्यात हा विषय होतच असतो, कुठल्याही घरामध्ये होतच असतो. कारण आपल्या कुठल्याही राज्यामध्ये जी त्या स्टेटची जी भाषा आहे ती इंग्लिश नाहीच आहे. त्याच्यामुळे इंग्लिश मिडियममध्ये टाकायचा हा डिसिजन अतिशय कॉन्शियस डिसिजन असतो की तुम्हाला तुमच्या मुलाबरोबर किंवा पाल्याबरोबर पुढे तुमचं काय होप आहे, तुम्ही जो विचार करता तो होईलच की नाही ते माहिती नसतं. मुलं नंतर कुठली डिरेक्शन घेतील ते आपल्याला माहिती नसतं. पण ॲज पेरेंट्स म्हणून वी हॅव टू गिव्ह देम द रूट्स. आणि ते जे रूट्स आहेत, ते जे फाउंडेशन आहे, ते तुम्हाला कसं द्यायचं आहे. फक्त आपल्या भोवती आपल्या चौकटीतच तुम्हाला बसायचं आहे का चौकटी बाहेरचं तुम्हाला शिक्षण द्यायचं आहे तुमच्या पाल्यांसाठी, हा एक अतिशय महत्त्वाचा विचार असतो.